Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Huma, welcome to Calicut, welcome to KLF.
Thank you so much.
So when you was first time,
My
right?
first time in Calicut, and thank you all so much. I know it's Sunday early morning to come here for our session. Really means a lot. Thank you.
When you heard your introduction back there, what is that one thing which is different which you want to tell us, and we can start the show then?
One thing that is
Which is
different.
different from, what is not been read there?
Oh, actually, sorry, with all due respect, I wasn't paying attention. The thing is, I get very conscious whenever somebody's, reading these things because I get very red-faced. It's almost like a reminder of all the things you have done. So my mind tends to just wander off.
So you've been so used to be hearing, addressing you as actor, model, and now hearing author. How is it resonating in your head?
I think being an author is perhaps one of the coolest things I've done for myself, and this is the most selfish thing I've done. As an artist, as an actor, often at times, we are restricted by the confines of the medium that we're working in. It's always the director's vision or the writer's vision, and we all are doing a collaborative kind of a process. Being a writer, it's like being the original creator of the material.
Yeah.
Your words, your thoughts. Your interpretation of the world. And I find that very, very beautiful and very, very challenging, but it's also very empowering.
Right. So coming to your book, Zeba or Zeba? Zeba.
Potato, potato. What is it? Potato? Potato.
For me, it's potato.
Well, a potato by any other name is still a potato.
So I'll call Zeba, okay? Zeba, the accidental superhero. So what was this whole germination of that thought that you should write a book?
Well, I've said this many times before. It was boredom. During COVID, with all the...
Your friends were getting married.
My friends were getting married, having babies. I had nothing to do with my life, and I was getting really moved and worked up about what was happening in the world. And I think my perception of the world always has a bit of a dash of humor attached to it. And whenever I see even something, a wrongdoing or injustice or whatever, I tend to have a funny take on it. I think it takes the sting away. So I think when during COVID you had so much time to process with what really was wrong with not just the world but yourself and your own mental health and all of that, I decided that this was a great way to process my own feelings and to, have a more cathartic approach towards life.
Right. And it's like a sassy superhero. A girl who living in New York and coming to a kingdom which you created, which is, you have mentioned somewhere that that kingdom is like Nepal and Abu Dhabi's daughter, right? And maybe that's a very imaginary place you have created, and that the superhero with a cape. And so tell me about how did you come about that, and what any references from your childhood where you born and brought up in Delhi?
Well, the book has a lot of Easter eggs. Some of them you may recognize, some of them are only for me to know. I think the one thing I realized while writing this book, that as a writer, sometimes you put a lot of your own life into the story, which other people don't need to know, but you need to know because they have a special meaning or a context to it. Like, say, for example, there is a date in the book.
RK.
There's a date in the
Date,
book,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is 8th April 1988.
Yes.
When you read the book, you'll understand there's a very important significance to it. It's my brother's birthday. I just put it. Nobody needs to know, but it's like a little joke in my head that I have with myself because it's a day where something really bad happens.
Okay.
Or for example, there's a reference to Amina Akhund, who was the first lady of this tribal kingdom, one of the first of the Akhunds. That's actually my mother's maiden name.
Oh.
But again, this is just for me to know, and it doesn't really change the story or whatever. But just things like this, I feel like when you're writing, and there's so much chaos going in your head, these things just tend to like center you in some way or ground you in some way.
Yeah. In your book, I saw that relationships which you narrated are very raw and relatable. So when you're writing, what was the biggest challenge you faced connecting to Zeba to your the mother and to the regular biological mother and the adopted mother, and then of course between the evil king and the daughter and the brother side. So ensuring those kind of relationships, how did you manage to bring in those nuances between two people?
Well, I guess you draw from your own life, you know. I grew up in, like most of us here, in a dysfunctional family. I mean, aren't all families dysfunctional? Um, I think I mean, I look at the world around me and try and draw inferences from that and inspirations from that. And I think my style of writing is more free flowing. And I let the characters actually take over and then determine their own fate as opposed to having a preconceived idea, okay, this is what my characters ought to do now.
Right.
Because I look at the world and nobody behaves in like predictable ways. People do all sorts of things and behave in very unpredictable, chaotic ways. And then it's for other people to look at them and be like, oh, this is why they're doing so and so. And I just let my characters be very living, breathing, authentic selves.
And if you look at the entire way of writing for your book, you know, you're bringing so many, what you call, the last chapter, she refused to write and she's written omitted. What was that for?
Do we have a copy of the book here?
Yeah. It's a book.
Okay, we don't.
Okay.
Okay, they're all sold out? Okay, good answer. So the last chapter, I chose not to write it. So it says very widely splashed across saying omitted.
Big one, just like a check, cancelled.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically like a check cancelled kind of a thing. Exactly that, actually. And the reason was not that I chickened out. I think my literary agent is here. She'll be very happy, Himali. It's because I think book number 2 will be that missing chapter.
Oh, so that's a sequel to it.
There's a sequel to it.
Then I really want to know, because you had one very nice date with this Bollywood star RK. Your character Zeba, and then you've written down, so I'm saying this ends here. There is nothing beyond this. So please don't look at this. Why did you write that? Because something that it's also for the sequel, RK?
Actually, RK or Rais Khan is this Bollywood actor that Zeba, the protagonist, has a fling with. And most people want that story to go forward, but I just wanted it to be like just a footnote in her story and not the main story. I mean, as women, we're always reduced to footnotes in the male stories. I just thought it was my way of doing that to the men for once.
Your quirkiness in your characters, Mohisina, you know, I've seen the way, I mean, that was your first twin gangs of Wasseypur with Andra Kashyap. Was that kind of a little, that character you bought in? I saw that some kind of reference to Zeba, this is my opinion. But then when you started writing each character, what was your, you know, the way of writing, I mean, way of portraying them? You know, what was playing in your mind when you created all these characters?
So for me, the most important thing in this book was to try and get into the mental space of each and every character. For those of you who've not read the book, each chapter in the book is a different character taking the story forward. So it's always in first-person narrative. So sometimes Zeba is talking about what's going on and she takes the story from point A to point B. Then her mother's character takes over and then she takes the story from point B to C, and then it's sort of fluid and free-flowing like that. My most interesting chapter to write was the evil dictator, because he stands for everything that I do not believe as a person. You know, he treats women like objects. He's a glutton. He's just this most horrid, horrible man. But then even he has like some kind of humanity to him, and that is explored in the book.
And that is what the way I think you're writing about when you started your, the entire story started in New York, which you are literally thinking about that you talked about your mental health issues, the character, and you're talking about your inner child, and also you're looking at what to do in the future, all those elements, and then reaching out to reach your made-up kingdom called Kadir, right? Kudir.
Kudir, yes.
Yeah. Interestingly, when there is a way I saw in entire chapters, first 2 pages we will not know whom you're talking about. Then it comes to, okay, fine. And that is what the same way with Evil King, we started feeling a little bit for him because you have given that. So how was his conscious decision? What is your toolkit process for writing?
Again, no toolkit process. My style of writing for this book especially was a very organic, free-flowing, after doing my morning pages, just vomit writing it basically, and then I would clean it up the next day. I mean, I found that very much easier to write. See, I'm a trained actor. I'm not a trained novelist. So for me, it's very easy to think in terms of characters, motivations, dreams, aspirations. And for me, I think as long as I'm very clear about who this person is, what their dream is, and what is the conflict towards getting that dream or aspiration fulfilled. I mean, in my head, the story comes alive. You know, it's like, and I just let them just interact with each other.
Okay.
After that.
So when you started, the characters started interacting with each other, what was your process? Whether you will be, I mean, certain times you'll think that, okay, fine, is this the right way? Do you want to come back? Were your references, your childhood references?
Just to, I know you're very curious about my writing process, but I sincerely do believe that I don't think people write stories. I think you just have to allow stories to come through to you. And sometimes it's putting away your mind and allowing that story to happen through you. We don't even realize as human beings just the impressions we end up making in our day-to-day lives, consciously and subconsciously. For me, the way I approach my art, whether it's acting or whether it's writing, is just to allow the act of creation to flow through me as opposed to engineer it a certain way.
Yeah.
And sometimes, when I also read something that I've said, I'm like, shouldn't have said that. Is that too inappropriate? Is that too sassy? Is that, maybe is there a better way I can frame it? But sometimes you just have to allow the honesty and the brutality of the thought to come through.
Yeah. So when that thought coming to you, there can be some kind of inspiration back in your mind from your childhood memory, something that actually helped you to write when you said,
Every single thing in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, the story is very specific. The entire story takes place between 1980
Yeah.
and 2019. It's that specific in time and place. And it's set in New York and a make-believe kingdom called Khudir, which she described as if Abu Dhabi and Nepal had a baby.
and the superpower, for the way it is getting, it is written very casually. If you miss that line, you will miss the entire story.
What do you mean?
I mean, the way, I don't want to get the spoiler alert for this, but the way you have written about this, the way the night she got a superpower. So there is absolutely, there is no sass to it, because then it came in later that the way how she used it. So was that conscious decision for make it very lightly and then build it towards the end?
I mean, when you pick up the book, you do know it's about a superhero. And a superhero needs to have a superpower of some sort, right? But I think what she's referring to is a chapter which is when she wakes up one morning and she has all these superpowers and you don't know what to do with it. And I'm like, now we've seen enough films and movies where the protagonist is toying around with the true potentiality of what this superpower could be and the confusion and the trauma of that. And I didn't want to delve into that. For me, it was far more important, let's get on with the story. I think that's also a reflection of my attitude towards life. When something happens which you don't know and unnerves you, okay, let's get on with life.
Yeah.
What's next?
Writing a book, I've read somewhere like washing an elephant. You don't know where to start or where to end. And sometime later, you don't know how much you have, there's no track of how much you have covered. So was that relatable to you when you started writing?
I think for me, writing is like an act of bravery. I don't think that perhaps I'm a better writer than a lot of you sitting out here. Maybe there's someone who can, is a way better writer. Maybe just the way you look at the world could be far more unique. But I think, and a lot of people I know while growing up also always were like, oh, we want to write a book. But I think it just takes a lot of discipline and perhaps stupidity to do that.
And coming to that as well, when you started writing, and what was the first idea you told someone that, okay, fine, I have this story idea, and did you narrate to someone first, the thread?
A couple of friends, actually. I am a reluctant writer, so I was always like, and I wanted to make this into either a series or a film. So when I wrote the first 10 pages, I was like, oh, this is like a television pitch for a limited series. And I showed it to a writer friend of mine. I'm like, hey, this is a great idea. Why don't you write it? And he turned around and he said to me, I think you're chickening out. This is your story and you need to write it. I can jam with you, I can proofread it for you, but this is your story.
Nice. And what other one I noted in your characters are, all of them have great passion or hobbies. For example, BB was a chess person. and then you were flying. You matlab Zeba. Sorry, I'm keeping because I see
Yeah,
you,
guys, disclaimer, I'm not Zeba.
and your character had flying planes, Cessna or something over the New York skies. Then the evil king loves to eat food, kebabs and talking about it all the time. And one person was brought in to make the better kebabs and all. So how did that design? Each character had his hobbies. What was that idea?
But don't we all have an interest or a hobby? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure if I randomly picked up someone and be like, okay, what is your thing? Right from collecting stamps to, I don't know, collecting bookmarks
Yeah.
to calligraphy. It'll be quite unique. I think everybody has that one thing to do to while their time away. I think it's a very important part of the human experience.
Any time through when you're writing that, I should not say the writer's block, but there was no deadline for you, or are you a person who always works on deadlines?
Um, am I a person who works on deadlines? I mean, in my profession, every day is like the last day, and if you don't get this done, then something really bad will happen. Nothing ever happens. I mean, I'm an actor. I act for a living. I'm not finding a cure for cancer. At best, I go say a few lines, entertain people. Maybe you like my movies. Maybe you don't like it. By the next Friday, you forget and you moved on to the next piece of content. So it takes sometimes a lot for me to go back. We're not saving the world. We're just here to entertain people.
Talking about movies, you acted in one Malayalam film, White, with Mamuka. Then
Can we not remind everyone, please?
I'm going to remind you
I
something.
was hoping you don't ask me that question.
Roshni Menon. Oh. See? Because I had my surname, so I reminded. Yeah. Then you went and acted with Mr. Rajnikanth for Kala. So there's a white and black. Why so? Why not more movies in South India? Valimai, of course.
I like the way you worded it. Yeah, no, I don't think the titles were my choice, but I like the binary reference to it. Just been very fortunate. I don't know what it is. I've got to work over the span of my career with some incredible artists, legends. And of course, I did that movie because of Mammootty sir and just the experience of working with him. I wish, I was more prepared to do that film, and we had made a better film. But just the kind of movies that are happening right now from Kerala are just incredible. I think we all are fans of it, and just the way they represent just different facets of society and the human experience are so beautiful. Like, I have no words to describe.
Any movie you saw, you thought that you should have been a part of it? Malayalam movie?
So many.
Tell me one.
So many. Recently, I saw Manjumal Boys, which I really, really enjoyed. I thought, and it's such a, like, you keep thinking the story is gonna go in one direction, but actually it's something else. And anything I think Mr. Fahad Fazil is in, I think is incredible.
Okay. No, I think no one misses the word Fahad Fazil when they talk about Malayalam movies nowadays. And when, as an actor, I know that you're becoming an author, but then when actor process, you have seen in movies like, which is I think you like about it, there is a way of choosing your characters. You have been very selective is what I think, right? And the best ones, like I loved your Monica, My Darling, and the Zindagi Kafi Nahi, that song was like superb hit on Spotify. And all the other movies which you've done as well in terms of Maharani or your Gangs of Wasseypur and Ek Thi Dayan, right? How was your process in the journey from 2000? I think it's in 13 years now?
Yeah, almost 2012, my first film released, Gangs of Wasseypur. It's been a very, very incredible journey. From a girl from Delhi with not knowing a single person in Mumbai, I think I've done fairly okay for myself.
Yeah.
What is the process to choose my roles? I think I've also made my fair share of mistakes, trying to chase things that I thought I should be chasing. I think it's a part of growing up. And it's a part of growing up in the public eye. Your mistakes are also very, very public, and then there for posterity. But I think today, this zone or the phase that I'm in, I want to choose work that appeals to me. And it's not specific to any one kind of film or type of film. I'm just trying to, I think, right now explore different genres.
Yeah.
So whether I do a Monica or My Darling or a Maharani or a Tarla or whatever it is, I'm just trying to work with different makers and trying to see, can I play different characters where the world is only very different, you know. So because the language of a black comedy will be very different from an action thriller, will be very different from a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
And these are just because these worlds come with their own rules and their own specifics. So for me, it's exciting to try and like fit into that world and decode that world.
Okay. So if a young filmmaker who's sitting in this crowd and wanted to narrate a story to you, how will that happen? How do you hear stories?
So my number is 99.
Write down. No. You know what will happen now? They know my number very well. They will come to me and I will have to come and...
Done. You have my number.
Yes, I have your number.
So somebody just has to steal her phone to get my number.
Whenever I interview Vidya Balan and she goes I ask the same question, Vidya, when are you coming back to Kerala? Another 5 mails or calls I'll get and said, can you please send this thread to Vidya? So this is what I'm going to happen to you last. Okay, so coming back to your book as well, you know, when you have to...
But I'm just, because you said that, I would love to do a film here. I mean, I feel this, the kind of films you guys are making is so incredible, like, and so inspiring.
See, tomorrow this will be your title in my multiple news platforms. So then you better...
Why do you think I've said it?
If Zeba, it needs to be made a movie, which filmmaker would you ask?
Wow. That's a tough one.
I know everybody would have asked who will act as the role of Zeba, and you would say you, right? I want to know which filmmaker would you want to?
Wow. I haven't thought that far, to be honest. I think right now I just want to find someone to help me with the screenplay.
Huh.
So maybe we should find a good screenplay writer for it
Good
to make
answer.
the book into a good screenplay.
You didn't want to hurt anyone, you gave a right answer.
But off late, okay, just because we're here, I saw a film called Minnal Murali. I thought that was really well directed.
Basil Joseph?
Basil Joseph. I
Okay.
thought it was really, really well
Basil,
directed.
are you hearing? He's busy acting nowadays.
I know, I saw a film that he acted in as well, Jaya Jaya Ho,
Jaya Jaya Ho.
which I thought was incredible, incredible. I'm telling you, I'm a fan.
Yeah, so Basil, I will tell him. And then the latest one of is a Sukshma Darshini.
Yes, I've not seen that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So, if the movie, I don't know why the Z looked like the mask of Zorro. Yeah. Tell me why is it?
I just think Antonio Banderas is really hot. Or at least I thought that when I was, you know what I mean? Like, and then he did that thing, yeah.
Yeah, with Salma Hayek, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, correct, sorry. And so, how do you find, what is like in a day of, now you're an author, you're a producer, you're an actor, you're a model. How does a day look like in the life of Huma Qureshi?
Very chaotic. No 2 days look like the same. Last week, I just finished shooting for a series for Netflix, which was my last day. This whole week, this is my 3rd city now that I'm traveling, talking about Zeba. And then the week after that, I start prep for season 4 of Maharani. So it's literally like each day is different, and I think it's beautiful.
Okay.
I feel as I don't like to restrict myself to the same people, the same energy all the time. And I feel like this allows me to constantly keep growing and challenging myself. I'd like to look at myself not just as an actor, not just as a producer, not just as an author. I don't like to think of myself in those binaries. I feel as an artist, I don't want to be put in a box. I want to explore different sides of my personality and keep growing.
Okay. In the world of fame and filters nowadays, how do you stay grounded, being authentic as an actor, as an individual?
How do I say grounded? I don't know. I can't take credit for it. I think the credit has to go to my parents for raising me with very strict middle-class values. And I guess it's your first formative years, I think, that define you as a person. I think even today, if I act like a little bit of a celebrity at home, I'll get one little, what do they call it here? Tapli, we say. What is it called? In
Adi.
Huh?
Adi.
Adi? One Adi I'll get and be like, okay, now get back.
I know. So then, you know, usually you actors always get this word, you look very good. What does it mean to you?
I mean, it's a fact.
But then, you know, so looking good is always been a pressure for people who are in the limelight. And
I mean, let's be honest here. I don't think vanity is a bad thing. You know, as long as it's just not about that. I feel people should take care of themselves. People should look good. It's always nice to look at a pleasant face. But for me, it's not just about like perfection. For me, a person with a beautiful smile
Right.
or a great personality or just someone who's a great conversationalist or someone who has a different worldview, I find that very, very attractive.
Right.
I don't think having a Roman nose or long hair or like a certain physique is attractive. I think for me, personalities are attractive. I get very drawn to that.
Yeah.
And I would like, which is why as a woman, it was always way more important to me that how I conduct myself,
Yeah.
the value of my physical presence, that experience, the conversations, they were far more important to me than just like looking great in a black suit with like gold bangles on my wrist.
I had to say that.
Also that.
Yeah, nice. Coming back, when you have to say no to a director or a script, how much time it takes and what is your process of saying no?
Are you prepping somebody for it? No, I think I'm just honest and I say it with, because again, I feel if somebody is offering you a part, it's the ultimate act of giving you a compliment, right? Because they want to work with you, they want to collaborate with you. And maybe you could not do it for various reasons.
Yeah.
Dates could be one, maybe you're just in a different headspace, maybe it's something you've already done before and you don't want to repeat yourself. And you just have to be honest and saying, I don't think I'm there yet.
Yeah.
Like I had to say no to a very good director recently who I really wanted to work with, and we've been talking for a while. But the film in question was with this star, and I was playing the love interest. And there was a scene, I remember reading the script, where the villain is coming and beating up that guy, and my character is supposed to cry and be like, "Don't hit him, please chhod do usko." So I read the script and I called the director saying, "It's a great script and you should do it, but I think I'm just the wrong cast for it." I'm like, "Look at me." If the villain comes one punch, so even I want to hit him at least. So I said, "You should work on something, but maybe not this particular one."
But sometimes your gut feeling says no, but it proved otherwise when it comes. So how do you select that? Is your gut feeling, or it's the reputation of that particular director from the last film or the script? But that gut feeling always works. No, ye ho jayega, ye theek.
Well, if the director's last film is a big hit, it helps. You should probably say yes. No, but jokes aside, I think, I think it's very instinctive. I don't think you can plan these things. I think and for me, it's also like, is it aligning with how I'm thinking right now?
Yeah.
Like, say, for example, after Maharani, I got offered a similar part of a Bihari lawyer. So I told them, I was like, I don't think, I've just done Maharani. I don't know what else I can add. They're like, no, this is a lawyer. That was a politician. So I'm like, I know, but maybe I'm not skilled enough to bring that nuance in right now.
Right. So coming your book, right? Who gave you this, this a compliment which came to you very by surprise by reading the book?
Many people, many people. I was shooting for Leila, and again, the first 5-10 pages, and almost a year after that, I seriously took to writing. I just scribbled some things and I sent to Deepa Mehta. And she wrote a very beautiful email to me saying, you are a writer, so just write.
Nice.
It still took me one more year to find the time and gather the courage to do it. But yeah, that appreciation really meant a great deal to me.
You remember the first sentence you wrote for the book? The first line?
Not really, not
Okay.
really. I think, I should try and find out what that first sentence is.
I give you homework now. How are we doing the time-wise? Excuse me?
We've spoken for 30 minutes and 13 seconds.
That was stop for some time.
Oh, acha.
How much time we have for the audience questions?
You're not going to
15.
throw us out, na?
So you can ask, I'll just go to the audience now and then I'll come back to the questions. Any question? Yeah.
That gentleman there.
One sec. The mic is coming to you. Mic is coming to you.
Can I speak in Hindi?
Yes, of course.
आपने आपके करियर के शुरू में ही अनुराग कश्यप के साथ वर्क किया है. आपने बदलापुर किया है. बदलापुर में मेरे
Sriram Raghavan.
हाँ श्रीराम भागवत सॉरी जिमली कैरेक्टर टोटली एक स्लैव का कैरेक्टर है. स्लैव नहीं क्या कैरेक्टर मुझे याद नहीं उतना. कैरेक्टर उसमें
जिमली, जिमली,
हाँ,
correct, हाँ,
जिमली और गैंग्स ऑफ वसेपुर में मोस्टली ये दोनों कैरेक्टर अगले अगले कैरेक्टर है, दोनों भी उतने भी सेम नहीं है। ये आप कैसे कर रहे हैं कि एक ही शेड्यूल में दो दो शेड्यूल करके करता है क्या? क्यों नहीं तो उतना हिंदी।
आपका नाम क्या है?
रिशाद रिशाद रिशाद
इरशाद,
रिशाद
विशाल, 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 इसी के पैसे मिलते हैं भाई। अगर ऐसे बता दूंगी तो फिर
अरे मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि एक ही टाइम एक ही फिल्म में ही काम करता है क्या, है क्या? और अनुराग कश्यप वाले एक बड़ा डायरेक्टर, हिंदी में बड़ा डायरेक्टर, वो कह रहा है कि वो साउथ में सेटल होने जा रहे हैं, कि बॉलीवुड अभी खत्म खत्म ऐसा बोल रहा है, क्योंकि इसमें आपका राय क्या है?
आई डोंट वांट टू कमेंट ऑन किसी ने क्या बोला है, बट आई थिंक सिनेमा यहीं पे है और कुछ ख़त्म नहीं होने वाला। चीज़ें इवॉल्व होंगी, कुछ चीज़ें बदलेंगी, कुछ चीज़ें हमको सेल्फ रिफ्लेक्ट करके सुधारनी पड़ेंगी अल्टीमेटली। और सुधार इसी तरह की कॉन्वर्सेशन से आएगा, दैट वी हैव टू लुक विद इन एंड वी हैव टू वर्क हार्डर, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली इट्स अबाउट the artist performing and the audience is receiving that, right? So if the audiences are telling us something, then we need to really listen and come up with better stories, better performances that speak to the audience.
Anything about your new projects?
There's a book I've written.
Okay.
Buy a copy.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
I'm here to sell books today.
Okay. Thank. और मैम,
Anji,
ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളുടെ മോൻ്റെയും നിങ്ങളുടെ വീഡിയോ കാണാറുണ്ട്, അടിപൊളിയാണ് കേട്ടോ.
thank you so much.
മോനോട് അന്വേഷണം പറയണേ.
Oh, Manodu Paraya. Me and my son do some Instagram videos. So that's what he said. So he will love that. Anyone, next question for you, right? No, there's a mic. Please.
Hi Huma, you've done several roles. Okay, Monica, whether it is Tatarla Dalal, a lot of gangs of Wasseypur. Which one is closest to your heart?
Difficult to say, because they all are very, very special, and for different reasons. Gangs, because it was my first film. Monica, because, I did that role at a time when nobody was expecting something like that from me. I don't know, but I think the one series, which is a gift that keeps giving, has to be Maharani. Like, we're going to start season 4, and it's so tough, and it's so not me. But it is still me, So, and I think that series has really changed my life as a performer.
Hi, can you hear? Yeah.
No.
My name is Indira. I'm family. Rekha is my niece. So this was most, I would say, very organically evolved conversation. And thank
I
you.
can't hear Gigi.
Okay. Well, this is very organically evolved conversation. I'm very proud of Rekha. And this is the first time I'm listening to her in person. And to you too, I've never watched a movie of yours, but I will be definitely watching.
You must. I'll give you a list today.
Maharani is something a friend of mine suggested. I definitely would pick it up. My question to you, of course, I'm a reader, so I'll pick up your book too today. My question to you today would be, did it, I know most of the actors, or let's say we watched Syed Kirmani yesterday at the Literature Festival. He wrote a book, Stumped, about his cricket career. So usually people write at the end of their career, you started ahead. Was there a particular reason for it, or do we expect, and also do we expect more books from you? So other question would be, did you enjoy being an author, or did you enjoy being an actor, or both? Or did you...
I think both are, to answer the second question first, because it's easier to answer. I think they both are great fun, and they somehow service different needs of you as a person. Being an actor is great fun, because again, you perform characters and you interact with people. Like, there's so many people here. I don't think I've met them before. Perhaps once I leave, we may not get a chance to meet again. But something that you're able to create in a room with a camera and some lights, it creates an emotion in them. They laugh with you, they cry with you. You touch their lives in some way. I find that very, very beautiful and very, very humbling. And I guess something similar happens with books as well. Like, I'm alone in my room, scribbling some words on a piece of paper, and you read it and it moves you in some way, or it inspires you in some way. And they're just different mediums, but I think what they end up doing for me, that sense of, I don't know, validation, that sense of sharing something, I guess expressing yourself and it moving people that you may never meet. I think that's unanimous.
Yeah, but since I'm a reader, sorry if you didn't complete. Did you complete what you said? Yeah. Since I'm a reader, I know that we take imagination beyond the words that you've written. Perhaps it doesn't happen in the visual world. So keep writing. That's my request to you.
Is that a question?
Yeah, no, I said that's what I wanted to tell you. Please keep writing so that.
Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
yes, I don't think there's an age to when you should start writing, at
Yeah,
the end of your career or the beginning or somewhere in the middle. I feel like whenever you feel you have a need to say something, you must express. Don't let anyone tell you that, oh, this is now what you ought to do. You know what I
Let it
mean?
happen organic. Yeah.
Let it happen when it needs to happen. Same goes for marriage.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sahela.
I love your hair. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. So I just had a small question. What kind of mental preparation does it take for actresses when you have roles that demand you to gain weight, right? You did a movie called Double XL, right, with Sonakshi Sinha. So what made you take up that role, and what were the challenges that you faced after, you finished completing the shooting?
I must confess, it's been the most fun role to do. To be able to eat, drink, whatever your heart desires, and to land up on a film set, it's very liberating, especially as an actress, right? Like, you're so conditioned and so used to like wearing clothes that slim you down, or putting your head a certain way, or contouring, and these are just like different ways of just, I don't know. Twisting and morphing the female form into something that seems more palatable, that seems more like controllable, seems more like desirable, with certain kinds of ideas of beauty. And when we were doing, say, for example, a look test for Double XL, it was always about, oh, but this shirt is making her look too slim. Just give her something, more oversized or more baggy, and, her legs are looking too thin or arms are looking too thin. And trust me, I've been working since 2012. You never hear that, almost never. You're always not good enough. So it was very, very liberating. And then, yeah, of course, the food one got to do. It was very enjoyable. It was very painful after that to lose all the weight. But, I mean, I recommend everyone should just do it once.
Any question?
Ma'am, I just want to ask my question in the context of what your female protagonist, Zeba, would have been doing if she had not been pulled up to fight against the oppressor. Means exactly what that character would have been doing if she had not been pulled up
Yeah, so if
in the fight against the oppressor.
So if she had not gone to Kudir for that wedding.
Because, as you said, you are the reluctant writer. She was also a reluctant fighter. And even you have said at other occasions also, I have written this book for that part of, or that faction of reluctant audience who feels that women can't be that fighter mode. So almost reluctance and reluctant people are the things which the whole novel and the narrative around it is happening. So my question was just maybe an imaginative leap. What that character would have been doing if she had not been reluctantly taken the responsibility of
Well, I don't know
fighting the
I don't know what
oppressor.
Zeba would have been doing, but I certainly would not have been here if she didn't have that fight there. Because if she didn't have the fight, there'd be no book, and there'd be no me sitting over here. I think it's important when you talk about good versus evil. These are very relative terms, right? How does someone become good? Because you see something wrong. Like, because there's injustice, somebody has to come and fix it. So I think these polarities exist, the yin and yang, light and dark. These have been there since, I don't know, the inception of time, I guess. So you need to have, just the way you need to have a Zeba, you also need to have the evil king. And when you read the book, you'll also realize that the evil king is not so, I don't know, is not just purely dark. There's a reason why he is the way he is. And it's not an excuse. it is just a reflection of what it is that happens in society.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning. Yeah. So, like everyone else, I'm also delighted to see and hear you directly. So, big fan of your work, ma'am. Since you have now forayed into writing and written a superhero book, just curious to know who is your favorite superhero, male or female?
You stole my question.
Deadpool, without a doubt. Deadpool.
Never.
Great, great. One more question, ma'am, regarding your on-screen work. So, Gangs of Wasseypur days, I just started working in my corporate years then, and in the 2010s, I got to watch Gangs of Wasseypur 1, and then we were waiting, and immediately after a few weeks, the second part also came up, and we were just amazed by Nawazuddin. We were awestruck, and along with him came this pretty lady who just floored everyone, like with the bindas, cool attitude, and the chemistry that you guys shared, and how Anurag wrote it so beautifully, and how you both enacted so even cheap dialogues look cool and funny and entertaining, cheap, crass Romeo kind of street side dialogues look funny and entertaining for us, unlike other movies. And recently there has been in Instagram, one thing has been going on, the dialogue चल करण अर्जुन देखते हैं, सलमान और शाहरुख दोनों है, and you finally end up तो माँ के अम्मा के साथ जाना, वो dialogue. So can you just comment on how the experience was with working with Nawazuddin? He was also a newcomer in movies per se, and you were as well. So can you just comment on that?
Thank you so much for those really kind words and that quick 2-minute review of Gangs of Wasseypur. For those of you who've not seen the movie. No, but really, that's very good of you. I don't know, it's a really special film. I think I just chanced upon it, was in the right place at the right time. As a newcomer, I don't think you get to choose your first films. They choose you. And now when you look back and the way a lot of I don't know, people get launched. I didn't get that quintessential launch, with 20, an army of 20 people styling me, making me look good, pushing me on social media, making reels. We didn't know anything. I just did a movie with some 200 other actors. The biggest star at that point was Mr. Manoj Bajpayee in the movie. Everybody else was new. Very raw. And I think the rawness of that and the pure passion of every single actor, every single crew member on that film, resonated. I still remember when we went to the Cannes Film Festival, there were some 17 ADs on that film, and they all went to Cannes. They took, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
And a lot of those ADs today are very prolific directors, like Mr. Vasan Bala, Shlok Sharma, Neeraj Ghewan, Anubhuti Kashyap, to name a few. Vicky Kaushal was an AD on that film. I remember Vicky's done Clap for Me. So, things like that. And I feel like it's because of that's the passion and energy we all had is what really made it into what it is. And I think with Nawaz and me, that pairing was just so off. We just, it was just a very oddball pairing. And I don't know, Mr. Kashyap was pandering to every Indian male's fantasy.
Did you see Mr. Kashyap's recent Malayalam film?
I have not, but I want to see it.
Please. Nice. Any question? Yeah.
Continuing with the Gangs of Wasseypur, we were so eager to watch the second part. Can we see third and fourth part? Since Anurag
That
Kashyap
is a
has
question for Mr. Anurag Kashyap.
yeah, and since he's more interested in moving to Malayalam, can we make the third and fourth in Malayalam for a change? And one more question, since you have become a writer, don't you think that the other writers will be more intimidated to approach you with their stories?
I hope not, yeah. Please, I really hope
we also
not.
hope.
I really hope not. I'm a fan of good writing. I really just like to read scripts and books or whatever I can lay my hands on. I hope not. I feel like, in fact, I have grown as an actor, as a person, because of my interaction with great writers and directors. Because sometimes, you read something And then when you discuss it, you understand where they're coming from. And I find that very, very beautiful. So I hope other writers are not intimidated. I'm very capable of knowing that this is my actor hat and this is my writer hat and this is my producer hat, and I try not to mix that up. But yeah, if you have the money, we can discuss 3 and 4. Money.
Yes.
Hi.
Come here.
Do you want me to come to you?
Come here.
I can come to you.
Ma'am, I would like
No, I can hear you. They need to hear you.
a very good morning, ma'am. I would like to ask you that you are such a versatile person, that you are actor, producer, writer. What would you like to more to your versatility? And second question is that as being a female, I am sure that you have faced some kind of discrimination. So how did you overcome that, and you have proven that like roles don't see genders, it just see talents.
Thank you for your question. What's your name?
Nandini.
So, Nandini, I just want to tell you something that the way at least I was raised, I never made it about my gender. Like, I think today also when I work in a very genderless way. Like, when I go on a film set, I demand to be treated equally. And sometimes you have to educate people also on how to talk to you. So, it's not that I have not been discriminated against, or people have not told me I'm not good enough, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. But I feel you have to tell yourself constantly that they cannot reject me till I don't reject myself. So don't ever reject yourself, and don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something. In fact, if they tell you, you're like, why? Why can't I do it? Thank you.
You are a Delhi girl, and when you were growing up, what kind of novels were attracted?
I'm a Delhi girl. The kind of rolls I liked were chicken rolls, mutton rolls. So my
Because your
father runs Salim's, right? So those are the roles we really liked.
What kind of books you read?
Everything. I think I was a voracious reader, and I was in dry school, and we were allowed only one book per week from the school library. So I would pataw a friend who didn't like to read and would take another book. So 2 books per week, and I would try and quickly finish it. And then my librarian was always like upset. Everything, the usual
Yeah.
Nancy Drews and Enid Blytons and all famous five,
Famous five.
Jane Austen.
Ah, okay. Any question? Yes.
I'm wearing heels now. Don't make me walk.
I'll go. Come. Dada.
Hi.
Mike.
Good morning, ma'am. First of all, I just wanted to say you are very beautiful.
So are you. Thank you.
So my question for you is, what's like writing or like being an author, a passion of yours that you had since your childhood or your early years, or was it like something that developed when you entered into the world of storytelling and like acting or something like that?
Thank you for your question. I actually always enjoyed writing and wanted to be a writer. Kids want to do everything. So in my dear diary, I actually wrote like many, many things, including like learning how to fly a plane and writing a book as one of my goals that I need to achieve in life. And I'm just grateful that I managed to do that. I also wrote a book or attempted to write a book when I was, I think, 9 or 12, I don't remember. Like I was quite young, and I wrote it for my brother for his birthday. And I remember showing those few chapters to a cousin of mine. And my cousin said, you cannot, because every few pages someone dies. So he thought it was a very inappropriate gift for a younger brother. So I've abandoned that novel.
And like, what are some genres that you want to explore more in your career?
As an actor, I would love to do historical drama. I would love to do an action comedy. I don't think women do enough action films, and I'd like to change that.
Maybe in your writing career, like, what are some genres that you would like
Yeah,
to...
writers don't get paid enough. So first of all, I want to like really lobby for writers to get the kind of respect and the kind of pay parity that they deserve.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other question? Yeah, from here.
I'm really impressed with the Kerala Literature Festival, like Sunday morning, and people are really turning up.
Told
Like,
you.
well done.
Yeah.
Really well done.
So, hi, I have two things for you. First thing is, I love Maharani. And my question is, were you influenced by, when you write, it's a superhero, it's a
Can you
superhero.
hold the mic a little closer? Sorry.
Yeah. So it's a superhero book. But did you find any inspirations or takeaways from Maharani which you you did not want to incorporate, but you seemingly incorporate into the book, and it was like, oh, this is nice. First thing, and second thing, whatever you guys just spoke about has been turned into a comic, and it's live. If you want to see it, I can show it to you.
What do you mean?
Yes, it's published. She spoke about the flying elephant and you writing a book, and it's a comic now. I can show it to you.
Show?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is some magic trick, guys.
It's a magic, correct.
What we spoke about has turned into a comic book. But comic. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Thank you for including me. Nice.
Oh, I wish we could show it to everyone.
This is nice.
It's actually quite cool. I'm
While
going
you're
to.
talking, he made. What's your name again? Kamal.
Kamal.
Give a big hand to Kamal.
Kamal,
Tag her in Insta.
if you tag me, I'll reshare this, and then you guys can see it on my story. It's actually quite cool. How do you do it?
Oh,
Thank you so much. Thank
Kamal.
you. Okay, so Kirti is there, that guy in the black t-shirt. All scripts can go to him. Checks also he'll accept.
Thank you, Kevin. That was interesting. It was a
Thank you.
big
Thank you so
surprise.
much. Thank you.
Any questions from the back?
Yeah, hi.
Ah.
Hi.
So everyone talks about gangs of Wasseypur, but what I want to talk about is Leila. So it's an amazing show. I really loved it, and I would love to see a season 2. So how
Mad
much?
or what? You don't
What?
like to see me alive or what?
I don't know what happens to the character after that. So how much do you think that has influenced your book and the character that you wrote in your book? And I'm sorry I haven't read the book, but from what I've heard, you have an evil dictator, you have someone who rises up against all odds. So what do you think happens? What do you think has influenced?
In my world, good always wins and evil people always lose. And that is how it reflects in the choice of my films and the books I chose to write. That's my worldview. And yeah, I hope that happens in reality too.
And do you think that will happen in Leila?
I don't know. I don't think there's a season 2 of Leila.
All right, cool. Thank you.
So in that case, you had this last chapter was not there, omitted. Will you act in a film will have no climax?
Why not?
Okay. Any question?
Somebody took the mic. in
Somebody
that
took the mic,
direction.
yeah.
Okay, there, this gentleman.
Please.
The one standing also allowed to ask, huh, guys? It's very hot, but you are allowed to ask questions.
Good morning.
Hi.
I would like to know, like, whether now this is a time of AI. So, do you think that AI can be used for your writings?
God, I hope not. It'll be some terrible kinds of writing. I think AI should be used to take over the jobs of CEOs and people who do like that kind of stuff. I think writing should be left to creative people because it's so human. AI at best can copy someone's style, but I don't think it can. I don't think it's intended for original work. The way I look at AI, and I know it's developing, and you know we'll figure out what happens. We must think of it like social media or like fire. You know, fire can be used to cook a meal to feed a family. Fire can also burn a house down. So the choice is really in our hands, and we must, you know, use that judiciously.
Okay, thank you.
Any more question?
Yeah. It's not about me. I think for them, huh?
Yeah. What about AI and filmmaking, which is becoming quite a thing, even for journalists, even for writers, and even for a lot of other work? But what do you have to say about this? Like, how does it function? Does it really work? Will it really take over?
Well, I hope not. Like I said, I feel for me, technology, we can't deny technology. I think it'll be very silly to say, oh, we don't want AI or we don't want to, because we don't know how it's going to evolve or what's going to happen. However, what we do need to recognize that it should probably be helping us do the mundane tasks as opposed to, get involved in like pure creative purposes. I think let the humans handle that.
We do have a last question. Yes.
I'm not a great fan of Bollywood movie. I don't watch
Not?
much. No.
Yeah. Don't say. You're
No,
breaking my
I don't
heart,
watch.
sir.
No, I don't watch movie, especially even Malayalam movie also.
Good, but I'll give you recommendation. Malayalam movies are very good.
My question to you, I read a newspaper and I watch TV channels also. Recently, if you look at the Bollywood movie, there are so many South Indian movies are super hit. But when it comes to Bollywood movie, I think there is no much box office successful movies. So being a writer or as an actress, so do you, what is the do you think that is there anything to talk about Bollywood industry? I mean that.
But can I ask you a question, sir? What do you do? What is
Yeah.
your profession?
I'm a salesperson.
You're a salesperson. So why is box office important to you?
And I feel that, when it comes
No,
to...
I just want to say this. I feel in the last few years or whatever, everyone is talking about box office numbers. And I find that completely ridiculous. As long as it's not your own money and you're not the producer of the film, how should it matter to you whether the movie has made 10 rupees or 100 crores? Did you like I think the questions we have stopped asking ourselves, do I like the movie? Did I enjoy it? Will I remember it after 10 years? Will this be something, if it's playing on TV, I'll still watch it like a third time or a fourth time? Do I enjoy the music? Can I hum the lyrics? I feel this whole conversation in mainstream media about how many 100 crores a movie has made, how does it make a difference to my life? I'm not getting the money. They are giving you a check or what?
No, but the question is, being a salesperson, what I felt that if I can, certain person, if I am selling certain product, if there is a demand, I can sell it out. It is all depends upon the demand. It is depends upon the quality also, that I can sold out that product. So what I mean to say that, actually, do you think that is there any problem with quality or is there any compromise in Hindi Bollywood industry?
I definitely feel like the Hindi business is going through a certain resurgence and there's a lot of self-reflection as we speak that's going on. And definitely I'm sure we'll see a difference in terms of stories and films and series that is going on, 100%. Because if the audience is telling us something, then it is our responsibility to listen to what they're saying and to apply those things. However, my only request to all you guys, and I'm not talking because you're from sales or somebody's from marketing, is just to say, let's look at movies and let them be what they are, an art form for you. Do you enjoy it? Well, what the distributor's share is, or how much the exhibitor is making, or how much money the producer is taking back. I feel it's really like a futile conversation. I feel the focus has to get back on the creativity, the arts. Like, I don't know how much money Mother India made.
Yeah.
But we still talk about it. I don't know how much money Mughal Azam made. And who cares? But after so many years, we're still talking about it, right? Yeah. And I feel today everyone is so interested in how many crores a movie has made. The only chatter on social media and in mainstream media is about that. And I feel that's a very unhealthy way of looking at filmmaking because it is also an art form at the end of the day, right?
So bringing from the box office back to your book. One last question. It says accidental superhero. Somebody didn't tell you it has to be heroine?
But why?
I know, I wanted a hero.
Yeah.
But then did somebody tell you that, okay, fine, also has like 1,001 nights kind of a font and said it should have been a heroine and not hero?
No, I don't think I'm an actor. I don't need to be called an actress.
Actress.
I'm an actor.
Yeah.
Similarly, she's a superhero. Doesn't have to specify gender.
Yeah. So next time I'll interview you when you sign a Malayalam movie and you will talk to me in Malayalam. Is that a game?
Done. You have to teach me something in Malayalam today,
Yes.
but.
Yes. Nandi Namaskaram.
Huh? Nandi Namaskaram.